Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope that you all are well with the grace of Almighty Allah in Corona pandemic. I'm also well. I'm MD Ahidul Haq Talukdar, lecturer of English in Durkani F. Karim Alim Madrasa in Durkani Pirispur. Dear students, today I am going to start with you Unit 4 Human Relationship. Human Relationship. Unit Lesson 3 Photograph. You take photograph. You take your photo. You take the photo of scenery outside. Sometimes you find some old album of your family old album and old photo of your father or mother, your grandfather, grandmother, or other relatives. And a photograph is a nostalgia of our human life, and there is a relation between man to man. And here is a story about a grandmother and his grandson, Dadi ebong Nati. And this story tell this one about this story is about a photograph, an old photo which the grandson found in his home and showed to his grandmother. And imagine, perhaps the picture was his grandmother's. And at that time, now the grandmother is old, his skin is wrinkled, his head is here and there. Now she is old. But in her youth, she was very beautiful, glamorous. She was very energetic. The photo make a nostalgia into the imagination of grandmother. So okay, come now. I am going to start with the passage. Please open your textbook, page number 50. Lesson 3. Open your textbook, page number 50. Lesson 3. Photograph. It was 10 years old. My grandfather sat on the string bed and under the mango tree. It was late summer and there were sunflowers in the garden and a warm wind in the trees. That is the storyteller now here telling the story of his childhood memory. That before 10 years old, he expressing the scenery of his surrounding. The weather was very fine. The season was very comfortable. Sunflower or other flowers and the gentle breeze were blowing, and his grandmother were a string bed, that is in Bangla dolna. The grandfather was sitting on a string bed and he was knitting. that is বুনন কাজ করতেছিল। My grandmother was knitting a woolen scarf for the winter months. That means grandmother took preparation for a scarf for the winter season. That means winter season was very close to come. She was very old, dressed in a plain white sari. Plain white sari. You know, we see that most of the old men and women wear mostly white color. They like white color. Her eyes were not very strong now that in old season our eyesight became slow. But her fingers moved quickly with the needles, and the needles kept clicking and afternoon. That means knitting. The grandmother was knitting, বুনন কাজ চালিয়ে যাচ্ছিল। Grandmother had white hair, that is his hair became white because she is now old. But there were very few wrinkles on her skin. But in comparison of her age, his wrinkle, that is kuchke jawa, whenever the people become old, their skin become wrinkled. But in comparison to her age, there were not enough wrinkles in her skin. Few. That means she was more energetic than her age. I had come home after playing cricket on the Maidan. Maidan means field. That means the storyteller or the grandson were playing in the field and come back. I had taken my meal and now I was rummaging in a box of old books and family heirlooms that had just that the day been brought out of the attic of my mother. Heirloom. Here heirloom means you may think that is shinduk. Othoba there are some the old heritage things are kept here. অর্থাৎ পুরাতন দাদা দাদির যে ঐতিহ্য এগুলো যে একটা জায়গায় গচ্ছিত রাখা পুরাতন জিনিস সিন্ধুক অথবা কোনো কিছু গুপ্তধন কোনো কিছু রাখা এইরকম যে জায়গাগুলোকে দিস প্লেস আর দিস স্টোর হাউস আর কল্ড হেয়ারলুম। Here rummaging, that means he was the narrator, the storyteller, were rummaging, that means searching here and there to find something, and his mother kept height to his eyes, but he found something. Nothing in the box interested me very much except for a book with colorful pictures of birds and butterflies. That means he found a picture where he saw some birds, pictures of some birds and butterflies. Butterflies means prajapati. I was going through the book looking the pictures when I found a small photograph between the pages. That means into the pages, boyir bhitor, he found a photograph. It was a faded picture. Faded means molin, puran, chilno chilno. A little yellow and foggy. যেটা ছিল লিটল foggy অর্থাৎ মানে ধোঁয়াটে ছিল। It was a picture of girl standing against a wall, and behind the wall there was nothing but sky. That means he is narrating the scenery of the picture. What there was standing a girl was standing, and behind pichone the girl there was nothing but sky. But from the other side a pair of hands reached up. কিন্তু পিছনের দেওয়াল থেকে এক জোড়া হাত উঠে আসছিল, as though someone was going to climb the wall. পিছনের যে ছবিটা দেখে মনে হচ্ছিল কেউ হয়তো দেওয়ালটা টপকানোর চেষ্টা করতেছিল. There were flowers growing near the girl, but couldn't tell what they were. There was a creeper too, but it was just a creeper. এবং এর পাশে ছিল ক্রিপার, লতা গুল্ম, অর্থাৎ গুল্ম জাতীয় গাছ, কারণ এরকম ছিল. I ran out into the garden. Granny, I shouted. Nani, dadi, dadi. Look at the picture. I found it in the box of the things. Whose picture is it? Whose picture? That means the grandson asked to his grandmother about the picture. Whose picture is this? I jumped on the bed beside my grandmother. She walloped me on the bottom and said, now I have lost count of my sketches, and the next time you do that will make you finish the scarf yourself. নাতি কি করলো, লাফ দিয়ে দাদির দোলনার উপরে উঠেছে এবং দাদি আদর করে নাতির পশ্চাৎঘাতে একটু আঘাত করলো এবং বলল যে তোর কারণে আমার এই সেলাইয়ে সমস্যা হচ্ছে এবং এরপরে তোমাকে আমি এই স্কার্ফ দিয়ে গলায় ফাঁস লাগিয়ে মেরে ফেলবো. দুষ্টুমি করতেছে, জাস্ট ফান. She took the photograph from my hand and we both started to finish. We both stared at it for quite a long time. That means they are watching the picture for a long time. The girl had long, loose hair. That means the lomba chul. His hair was very long and loose hair, alga chul, elo chul. And she wore a long dress that nearly covered her ankles, gorali porjonto frog oishob jatiyo pureche, and sleeves, hata, that reached her wrist, kobji porjonto hata poreche. And there were a lot of bangles on her hands. Churi chilo hate onek churi chilo. But despite all of his drapery, the girl appeared to full of freedom. Drapery means এখানে বন্দী দশা, সংকীর্ণতা, এই অবস্থা. এই কিছু সত্য মেয়েটিকে স্বাধীন চেতা, উন্মুক্ত মনে হচ্ছিল. And movement she stood with her legs apart, দুই পা ছড়ানো ছিল ছবিটা, and her hands on his lips, এবং he on his hips, কোমরে হাত ছিল. And she had a wide, almost devilish smile on her face, এবং একটা দুষ্টু হাসি তার মুখে ছিল. Whose picture is it? I asked. এটা কার ছবি আমি জিজ্ঞেস করলাম. A little girl, of course, ছোট একটা মেয়ে অবশ্যই. Said grandmother, can't you tell? তুমি কি বলতে পারো না? Yes, but did you know the girl? Yes, I knew her, said Granny, but she was a very weak girl and I shouldn't tell you about her. But I will tell you about the photograph. It was taken in your grandfather's house about 60 years ago. অর্থাৎ এই ছবিটা, এই দাদি বলতেছে যে এটা একটা দুষ্টু মেয়ের ছবি, এটা তোমার 60 বছর আগে তোমার দাদার বাড়িতে ছবিটা তোলা হয়েছিল. আসলে ছবিটা দাদির ছিল. সে মানে বলেও মানে অনেকটা না বলার ভান করতেছিল, মজা করতেছিল. A garden wall, and over the wall there was a road going to town. এবং ওর গার্ডেনের পাশ দিয়ে একটা রাস্তা যেটা টাউনে যাচ্ছিল। Whose hands are they? Asked the coming up from the other side. That means the um, grandson asked to about the hands behind the wall. Grandfather squinted and looked closely at the picture and shook her head. ছবিটার দিকে তাকালো এবং তার মাথা নাড়লো দাদি। It's the first time I have noticed, and she said those must have been the sweeper boys, or maybe they were your grandfathers. হয়তো এই হাত দুটো, দাদি বলতেছে এই হাত দুটো হয়তো হতে পারে তোমার দাদার অথবা সুইপার বয়ের হতে পারে। They don't look like grandfathers, and I said his hands are all bony. নাতি বলতেছে তো এখন তো দাদার হাত বনি আর হাড্ডিসার হয়ে গেছে, এটা তো তার হাত না। আসলে নাতি বুঝতে পারতেছিল না যে ইয়াং বয়সে তার দাদার হাত পা কেমন ছিল। Yes, but this was 60 years ago. হ্যাঁ হতে পারে, কিন্তু এটা তো 60 বছর আগের ছবি। Didn't he climb up the wall after the photo? Nobody climbed up, at least I don't remember. দাদি বলতেছে আমার তো মনে পড়ে না তখন কেউ দেওয়ালটা টপকাচ্ছিল। And your remember well, Granny? তুমি ভালো স্মরণ করতেছো। Yes, I remember what is not the photograph. It was a spring day. বসন্তের দিন ছিল। And there was a cool breeze blowing. মৃদুমন্দ বাতাস বচ্ছিল, ঠান্ডা বাতাস। Nothing like this, এরকম ছিল না। These flowers at the girls' feet, they were marigolds. এগুলো ছিল marigolds বা গাঁদা। And bougainvillea creepers, এবং বাগান বিলাসী যে লতাগুল্ম সেই ছবি ছিল। It was a mass of purple. চমৎকার। You cannot see the colors in the photo. এই ছবিতে তুমি রং দেখতে পাবে না। And even you could, as nowadays you won't be able to smell the flowers or feel the breeze. তুমি এই মুহূর্তে ওর যে সুগন্ধ, যে ফুলের যে সুগন্ধ আছে, যে মৃদুমন্দ বাতাস আছে, সেটা তুমি ফিল করতে পারো না, কারণ আজকের যে দিনটা চলে যাচ্ছে এই দিনের ফিলিংসটা আগামীকালকে হবে না। And what about the girl? I said, tell me about the girl when she was a wet girl. আবারও নাতি জিজ্ঞেস করতেছে, দাদু বলো এই মেয়েটা কার ছবি? তারপর দাদু মজা করে বলতেছে এটা একটা দুষ্টু মেয়ের ছবি, মানে তার ছবি ছিল। You don't know the trouble they had getting into these fine clothes she's wearing. Who was the girl? I said, you must tell me. You must tell me she was. No, that won't do, said grandfather. Na bolbo na, but I pretend to I didn't know. I know because grandfather still smiled in the same way, even though she didn't have many teeth. বলছে গ্র্যান্ডফাদারের হাসিটা ওই আমার কাছে ওই যে ইয়াং মেয়েটার হাসিটার মতো সাদৃশ্য মনে হচ্ছে, এবং নাতি ধরে নিয়েছে এটা হয়তো দাদির ছবি। তারপরও শিওর হওয়ার জন্য সে জিজ্ঞেস করতেছে, তারপরে বলতেছে যদিও দাদির এখন সে পর্যাপ্ত দাঁত নেই, কিন্তু ওই যে ছবিটা ছিল, that the picture of the grandmother in his young age, there was enough teeth in his mouth. Come on, Granny, I said, tell me. But grandmother shook her head and carried on with his knitting. কোনো কথা বললো না, knitting মানে বুনন কাজ, সুচ কাজ চালিয়ে গেল। And I held the photograph in my hand, looking from it to my grandmother's and back again, trying to find points to common between the old lady and the little red-tailed girl. ছবিটা নিয়ে নাতি ওই ইয়াং মেয়েটা এবং তার এই যে বৃদ্ধ দাদির মাঝে সিমিলারিটি খোঁজার চেষ্টা করলো। দ্যাট মিনস the taking the photograph, the grandson was trying to find similarity between the young girl and his old grandmother. A lemon-colored butterfly, lemon color অর্থাৎ লেবু রঙের come butterfly settled on the end of the grandmother's knitting needle. দাদির যে নিডল বা সূচের উপরে একটা সবুজ রঙের লেমন কালারের একটা বাটারফ্লাই প্রজাপতি বসলো and stayed there বসে থাকলো while the needles clicked away যখন সূচ বা সুই চলতে থাকলো. I made the grab at the butterfly and মানে প্রজাপতিটা ধরার চেষ্টা করলাম, nothing, and it flew off চলে গেল and dripping flight চলে গেল and settled on a sunflower সূর্যমুখী ফুলের উপর গিয়ে প্রজাপতিটা বসলো. I wondered whose hands they were, whispered grandmother to herself. দাদি ফিসফিস করে নিজে নিজে কিছু বলল. With the head bowed মাথা নিচু করে and her needles clicking away in the soft warm silence of that summer afternoon. কিন্তু তারপরেও দাদি she was continuing her knitting. That means the grandmother and the grandson they made fun, they had curiosity, they had nostalgia, they had memories, and this is the relationship of age to age, of man to man. Okay, Allah Hafiz, best luck to you.